That idiot Pritzker hits a new low. Not surprising, but surprising. Progressives and Islam. There needs to be a bit of understanding with you progressives. And fentanyl. We all know how bad it is, but what we don't know is it is literally in everything. This is scary. What you don't know about fentanyl can kill you, literally. Welcome to the Jay Sheldon Show. It's Friday. Yes, we love it. The weekend. You smell that? That's the weekend coming in around the corner, just over the hill. It's sneaking in. Friday morning, of course, this Sunday, we will do that idiotic, ridiculous thing we do twice a year, set the clocks back. Dumbass legislation, which could be fixed with the signing of a pen and an executive order, but it just won't get done. I got criticisms of President Trump, but this is a big one for me. Sign the damned order. Get rid of this idiotic savings time. Stupid. Anyway, that's my own personal beef. It's Friday, so I refuse to not feel good, okay? Welcome in, everybody. It is great to have you along for the ride. We got a big one coming up. Lots to talk about. And I hope I can keep everything straightened out because I am still dealing with only 2 monitors. I got another one coming, but it ain't here yet. Hopefully it'll be here by Monday. So when you get used to something and it's just always there. Right now there's a big hole right here that never used to be there before. It's annoying as hell. All right, let's talk about this knucklehead moron Pritzker. A new low. He is hiding behind the trick-or-treaters. Yeah, by the way, happy Halloween. And happy Halloween to you, AJ. I know it's a biggie for you. Oh, man. He's hiding behind trick-or-treaters in order to stoke fears about Chicago ice sweeps. Illinois Governor Pritzker, otherwise known as the never mind, I can't say it, has just set a new low for Democrats. And when I say low, I mean low. Using kids wanting to go out on Halloween trick-or-treating to attack ICE agents doing their jobs in Chicago. Listen to this. He sends a letter to the Department of Homeland Security directed at Secretary Kristi Noem and a bunch of other members of leadership, including Acting Director of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, Todd Lyons, using fear-mongering to try to scare parents and others on Halloween. This is the low of lows. The letter called on ICE to hit pause on actions in Chicago over the Halloween weekend. Here's what it actually said in the actual letter. Illinois families deserve to spend Halloween weekend without fear. No child should be forced to inhale tear gas or other chemical agents while trick-or-treating in their own neighborhood. Pritzker wrote, Illinois children should not be robbed of their innocence. Let them enjoy a time-honored American tradition safely and peacefully. Please let children be children for one holiday, free from intimidation and fear. What a crock of absolute bullocks, as they say across the pond. He spoke to members of the press, accused DHS of attacking peaceful neighborhoods, terrorizing kids at Halloween parties. Pritzker's asked to specifically pause immigration enforcement in Chicago. So he says that kids can be safe to celebrate Halloween. Do you have any other plans to alter activity on that day, Gov? Governor says, no, we're going to be out on the streets in full force, increase our activities to make sure kids are safe. That's Kristi Noem. Every day in Chicago, we are arresting murderers, child pedophiles, those who have perpetrated assaults. He's just not telling the truth. We will constantly stand up for the truth and for those people that live in these neighborhoods who want peace, safety, and they want these criminals out. Kristi Noem. Every day we're on the streets of Chicago arresting people who've committed murders, rapists, those who are trafficking drugs. They've been victimizing Chicago for years, and it ends now. No matter, she continues, no matter what Governor Pritzker says, we're going to do our job. This is just the latest move, disgusting move, typical but disgusting, by Pritzker against immigration, customs enforcement agencies, ICE officers, who are doing their damnedest to try and keep you and I safe after Biden's disastrous leadership and admin failed to, in fact, didn't just fail to secure them, cracked them wide open. That's why we have this problem now, my friends. Chicago governor, or Illinois governor, tried to gaslight a back and forth about how Chicago has the highest murder rate of all big cities in the entire country. Then he continued his attack on DHS. The interviewer asks, but why Chicago has the highest murder rate of all the big cities? And Pritzker says, we're not in the top 30. And the interviewer says, show them a map showing Chicago. They're number 1. And Pritzker says, look, you can pull up all the statistics, but our murder rate's been cut in half. And you're still number 1, you idiot. It's almost like that claim from former First Lady Michelle Obama, or Michael Obama, about how when they go low, we go high, which was, of course, full of horsepucky, but there you go. Unbelievable the levels that these absolute idiots will stoop to. Unbelievable. All right. Somebody who did not take the wind out of Halloween sales, SAILS, was our president and gorgeous first lady. As they have fun, this was so much cool footage. Halloween 2025 arrived at the White House, and it was a day of celebration. Take a look at this. There he is, Trump and Melania stepped out of the White House on Thursday greeting trick-or-treaters dressed up in all kinds of incredibly creative costumes. Video posted by the White House, Trump rocked one of those infamous red hats with the word USA on top, in a suit, of course. And meanwhile, the First Lady looked rather festive, a khaki dress coat, orange and black accents. Baskets of goodies in their hands, the kids of the White House, staffers, Trump admin, military families, and a whole lot more all showed up to shake hands with the president, score some giant candy bars. Yummy. There were kittens, princesses, ghosts, superheroes, skeletons, and even Tinkerbell was there. Also some cute pumpkins, some Ghostbusters, the little green dragon. And do we have the... Oh, that's the full thing. We don't want to show that. One costume that apparently appeared to stop President Trump in his tracks was a kid who looked like he seemed to be dressed as a toilet. I don't know You take a look. Hang on, I got to turn this down a little bit because it's very loud. But to me, this looks like, for all the world, as if the kid is dressed like a toilet. Watch. What the hell was that? That was a toilet, wasn't it? Look again. It says wide load on the back. But I'm telling you, that looks like a toilet. I don't know. Whatever, it's a fun, cool Halloween costume. So why not? He shook hands, laughed. It was something else. All the kids waited in line. Musicians stood on the steps of the White House playing fun Halloween-themed music, scary tunes from popular horror movies. And this was quite an event. Had some fun at the expense of the Democrats, posted a video using footage from the Halloween 2017 at the White House as they trolled Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer with sombreros, of course, in the MAME clip. You're going to love this one. Hold on, I'll play it for you. Here we go. Watch.
He did the Monster Mash.
The Monster Mash.
It was
Trump posted that. The White House posted that. Man, I love it. Anyway, they had a lot of fun at the White House. More power to them. That was great. What else is going on here? Man, this list of stuff, it just never goes away. Yeah. Will you stop that? Okay. I'm still getting used to the new setup. It isn't easy. Anything but Christ. Let me tell you what I mean by that. That is about the hidden agenda, the hidden alliance between progressivism and Islam. There is a thread running through modern culture that most people don't even notice, mostly because we've been conditioned not to notice. It is a strange alliance between the secular progressivism and radical Islam. At first glance, it makes no sense. One group waves rainbow flags and preaches love is love, and the other one enforces dress codes and executes as in kills those who deviate from traditional norms. You don't get much more opposite than that. One celebrates women's liberation. The other, in some nation, stones women to death for being seen in public without the right head covering. Yeah, stones them to death because you didn't have the right head covering on. You would think these two worldviews would be about as much natural enemies as two sides could possibly be. But they're not. They've quietly found common cause in a single, very dark conviction. Anything but Christ. Now, that's the spiritual war that way too many Christians still fail to recognize. And that is not a good thing, friends. The common denominator isn't shared policy goals, economic interests. It's shared rejection. Both systems built on the same foundation: the denial of our Lord Jesus Christ. Radical Islam rejects his divinity. Secularism rejects his authority. Now, to be fair, Islam does believe that Jesus Christ was a prophet, but they do not believe that Jesus Christ was the prophet. Radical Islam rejects his divinity, secularism rejects his authority, and as a result, the two parties, who could not be more polar opposite, seemingly opposite ideologies, are basically shaking hands across the aisle with each other. Let's call it what it is, huh? An unholy partnership of convenience. Plain and simple. Secular progressives shout tolerance, cheering movements that openly despise the very values that gave them the freedoms to shout about it in the first place. They parade under banners like Queers for Palestine, apparently blind to the fact that in Gaza or Tehran, the people they claim to support would be tortured, and without a doubt they would be executed for their lifestyle. It isn't just hypocrisy, my friends. It is a spiritual blindness that comes from the rebellion against the truth itself. Think about it. And this is where people like you and I, Christian conservatives, have got to wake up. We've got to. We keep trying to play the world's game by its rules, and that ain't working. Debate statistics, quote laws, argue economics, but this battle is not about any of that. It's about the truth versus deception, light versus darkness, Christ versus chaos. The reason progressivism can align with radical Islam, you notice I'm saying radical Islam, and doesn't even break a sweat, is that at its root, neither worldview, neither one of them, is built on the gospel. Their shared hatred of Christianity is the glue that binds them together. You can see this play out every day in the headlines. Christian teachers getting fired for praying. Muslim students getting prayer rooms. Christian symbols banned from schools, but Islamic headscarves praised as cultural expression. Drag queens get city permits. Pastors get investigated. Every decision makes perfect sense until you realize the guiding principle behind these groups is anything but Christ. The American church, meanwhile, spent far too long acting like these are just cultural misunderstandings. They're not. They're the visible fruit of an invisible war. Ephesians 6 wasn't poetic filler. It is the real framework for our world. Quote, "We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, and rulers of darkness." The enemy wasn't Washington, wasn't Hollywood. It's the same serpent that whispered in Eden, and now whispering through every single movement that says you can be your own God. There is good news. The answer hasn't changed. The only thing strong enough to stand against both the pride of secularism and the power of false religion is, of course, the gospel. Not watered down, seeker-friendly Christianity. That stuff is just so much baldy-ball. The real thing. The kind that doesn't apologize for saying Jesus is the only way and not one of many. The world may chant anything but Christ, but history tells us something quite different. Empires rise and fall. Ideologies burn out. The name of Jesus still shakes nations, saves sinners, and silences kings. Spiritual war, it is a very real war, my friends. The victory has always been written. No alliance, no rebellion, no agenda is going to erase that. So it's time for people like you and me, believers, true believers, to see the world for what it is, not just through the lens of politics, through the eyes of faith. Because once you understand that everything is more spiritual than it looks, you stop being surprised by the alliances of darkness which are everywhere and start fighting them with the power of light. That's how we win, with the power of light. Oh, really? Hey, if AJ's out there, this one's for you, buddy. Apparently, AJ's been digging on our new Blackout coffee commercial music, so here you go. Oh, yeah. Blackout coffee. Fantastic coffee, man. In fact, almost forgot I had a cup here. Hey, fresh roasted only after you order. They roast your beans. Now they offer ground beans in a lot of their most favorite roasts. So check that out. No more excuses. They have pods. Yep. Take care of you with pods. They've got instant cold brew. Blackout coffee, folks, it's simply the best. You got to try a bag and you will never go back to that old brown water crap you've been drinking. Blackout coffee, always full flavored, full body, strong coffee, never ever bitter. Best coffee I've ever had. Even when they're gone and this show is dust in the wind, I will still be drinking Blackout coffee because it's just that good. Use that link down there in our show notes. Check them out. Order a single bag just to try them out. And don't forget to use the code J20, J-A-Y-20. J20 is the code for 20% off your first order at Blackout Coffee. We love you guys. Thank you, Blackout Coffee, for being part of the show. We really do appreciate it. All right. What else we got going on? Let offensive memes and edgy humor consume young men. Exactly what the hell does that mean? I don't know. So I looked into it. There is room between ceding ground to the left that need not be given up and pretending like the decades-long campaign to alienate, ostracize we conservatives is not pushing some people into some very dark corners. This self-serious lecturing that pushes young conservatives into race-obsessed chat groups, noxious edgelord irony needlessly counterproductive. It pours gasoline on a fire rather than persuading anybody. It's just encouraging it. Now, why might conservatives in their 20s and 30s, whose formative years came during the height of the 2010s cancel culture, remember that? Well, now they freely toss around ugly Nazi memes in chat groups. At some point, maybe around the time corporations were funneling millions into the coffers of an actual racist in the name of anti-racism, it became very clear to them that no matter what they said, accusations of bigotry would always follow. Anti-left politics, regularly categorized as objective manifestations of virulent hatred by elite people and institutions, that power imbalance was deeply alienating. It separated them, psychologically and ideologically. And the lesson a lot of young conservatives took away was that charges of Nazism and white supremacy were so flippant and broad, they had no more meaning. They didn't hurt anymore. And so they turned those charges of, you're a Nazi, you're a white supremacist, into punchlines. They would also not be served by getting let off the hook entirely, which isn't happening. If you injure the reputation of your group or your office, you resign. If you learn those jokes fall flat when brought out of your rather weird corner and into the daylight, grow up. But if, however, you are treated like an actual Nazi, confirming the very predicate of your jokes that very serious people are humorless scolds, well, you're more likely to keep spiraling into the irony-poisoned meme labyrinths and falling deeper and deeper into it. And while you're still entirely to blame for falling into genuine bigotry, your loss likely could have been prevented with just a little more persuasion. Most people on the right agree that the left's habit of reflexively classifying conservatives as racist, hate mongers, is wrong. And it pushes a lot of people further towards the fringes. That implies that some people, yes, are embracing identitarianism. But it's a trickle now, and it's almost impossible to stop. Christians called on to love their neighbors, follow God's example. James 3 tells us, the tongue is also a fire, the world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole body, sets the whole course of one's life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. And at the end of that chapter, it ends by explaining the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere. Remember that. Remember that. What the hell is going on with this story? A very lax abortion pill rule, or a bunch of rules about abortion pills, make who are already very vulnerable women more susceptible to harm and abuse. Every single day, the FDA fails to reinstate the safeguards that were rolled back by Biden. The risk of abortion pill-related abuses only continues. It's no secret abortionists suspected of enabling predators, ignoring child abuse, covering up child trafficking for profit. The threat of death and danger for women and their babies, however, only intensifies when the Biden admin welcomed the mail-order mifepristone. I'm probably saying that wrong, but you know what I mean. This is a pill-induced abortion, most prevalent means for ending pregnancy right here in the U.S. It's the most popular one. It's already laden with side effects: hemorrhaging, fast weak pulse, trouble breathing, diarrhea, dizziness, headaches, vomiting, pain across the back, arms, neck, abdomen. I can go on. In some cases, one study found 11% of the time, abortion pills have led to hospitalization. Simply by taking these pills, folks, hospitalized because of hemorrhaging, sepsis, infection that can result in follow-up surgeries. You pair that with the fact that a majority of abortions, 70%, 70, are believed to be unwanted, coerced, or inconsistent with the mother's values and desires. Planned Parenthood fueled popularity of mifepristone, whatever, it becomes even more alarming. The Trump admin not reinstated the safeguards rolled back by Biden's administration, like requiring an in-person doctor, a visit to an in-person doctor to get a prescription for this pill. The harmful impact of Biden's FDA removing safeguards on abortion drugs, like in-person doctor visits, is an issue that overwhelmingly unites voters of all stripes. The SBA Pro-Life America President Marjorie Dannenfelser said, as a growing body of research indicates, these drugs are far more dangerous than advertised. New horror stories are emerging every day. And yet, even this current FDA will not fix the problem. Something's got to be done. Something. The first 32 minutes of this program have been an absolute depressing nightmare. So, the reason I put this story in here is because it is something to put a smile on your face. And then we'll get back into the crap. This is a legal immigrant, and she is about to become an official United States citizen. She has done everything the legal way, the right way. She didn't jump the line. She didn't leech the government assistance either. This, my friends, is what it's all about. Round of applause for this absolutely amazing woman who did it the right way. Take a look, take a listen.
Tomorrow I'm gonna be a U.S. citizen. It makes me feel a little bit more emotional than I thought I would be after just writing a journal about what's gonna happen tomorrow. And it's been such a journey because, as an immigrant, going through the legal process of naturalization and finally being able to, after 6 years of moving here, call myself an American is something that I find it really exciting and also emotional. So I just want to record this moment of how I feel right now and just to share my happiness with you. Because oftentimes a lot of us are in this journey, and it's really a time that you gotta remember because of how many things you've done in the past. So I want to thank myself before to be able to be persistent and being able to just keep going and go through this whole journey from 0 to 1. And I'm getting there very, very soon. So thank you, the past younger Kimberly. I want to thank you here. And for everyone who's out here in the social media world is also going through the same process, you're going to get there soon. Just keep going and you'll be there.
Ha! How about that? Congratulations to the newest United States American citizen. We so much welcome you in. 6 years it took her to do that, which on one hand is a very long time, and she didn't give up. As easy as it would have been to jump the queue, to go about it the illegal way, she chose not to. She chose to do it the right way. And now here she is 6 years later, which honestly at the end of the day isn't that long. And she is becoming, or probably by now since this video came out, she is a citizen of the United States of America. Man, that is some good news, huh? Those are the kind of stories we like to see. Fantastic. All right. What else we got happening? Oh! Okay, from the good news to the bad news. That didn't take long, did it? By the time you know it's there, it's already too late. You will be dead. They are putting fentanyl in everything. Now look, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not talking about they're putting it in your groceries at the store. But if you are or you know a drug user and they say, oh, I would never touch fentanyl, it's too dangerous. Trust me, they are putting this killer drug in virtually everything. And do you know how much fentanyl it would take to kill you? Watch this and prepare to be absolutely floored.
This would be how much cocaine somebody would have to ingest to kill them. This is the approximate number of prescription pills one would have to ingest to kill them. This is the amount of heroin the average person would have to ingest to kill them. Fentanyl, you're going to have to bring that camera up here real close to see it. This much fentanyl would kill you and I if we split it. They put fentanyl in cocaine. They put fentanyl in heroin. They put fentanyl, as we already know and talked about, into counterfeit pills. It's odorless, it's tasteless, you don't know it's there. And when you find out it's there, it's too late. You won't even know it. You'll be dead. 2,500 people would be killed by that amount of fentanyl. Does that sound like a drug to you? Does that sound more like a poison?
Exactly. I mean, you shouldn't be screwing around with heroin and coke and all that other stuff anyway, but if you are and you think you're safe, you are not, my friends. You are not. And did you see how little bit he had in there that would not only kill you, but you and me? That one little piece is enough to kill the both of us. Should scare the hell out of you. Unbelievable. How about this one? I'm going to have to give you a bit of a language warning because this guy is really pissed off. I'm assuming since it's Halloween morning across the U.S. that you've already bought your Halloween candy. So maybe this story's not going to surprise you, but maybe it will. Americans at the grocery store, what are they charging for Halloween candy this year? And the answer is absolutely outrageous. Companies have priced these products so high that a lot of people, most people, won't even be able to afford to give kids candy on Halloween tonight. Unbelievable. Like I said, fair warning, this guy's a bit vulgar, but honestly, I can't blame him one bit. Look at these numbers.
Hey, what's up, America? I'm here at a grocery store and we're checking out Halloween candy prices. Spoiler alert, they're high as fuck. So here you go. Regular bag of Sour Patch Kids for $6.99, $9.99 for the jumbo one. We're seeing $21.99 for the bag that used to be $13. $21.99. Look at that. Then we got the big baller bag right here, $31.99 for the 290 shit show right there. Here's the 100-piece one. These bags used to be, I don't know, what were they? Fucking probably like $7.99.
And do you notice too, the price tag, it says on sale.
Actually, you see they're $18.99 on sale for $15.99 with the Kroger card. You'll see down here, this one is $37 on sale for $32. Then here, $22 bags of candy for $19.99. Those used to be like 12 or 13 bucks. $9.99 pieces, $11.99, $9.99 on sale. Those used to be about, I don't know, probably $5.99 at most. And there's like $24.99. I mean, this is exorbitant. This is just, crushing you. Now look at this one. This is $5.99 for only 15 pieces. This is ridiculous. This is just bending you over. The only thing I can see that's cheap is the Baby Ruth Butterfinger and the Harry Potter Cadbury. Then you got the Peeps for $2.19, $79. That's about average, maybe a little high. Yeah, it looks like Halloween candy prices are going to be bending you over and fucking you hard this year.
Okay, that was a little much. But it's true. Did you see those prices? That is insane. Jeez. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Hey, we're going to end a little early today. I know it's Friday. I'm going to kick off the weekend early, get ready for Halloween. I don't know what I'm going as tonight. I hope I get a lot of candy and goodies. No, I'm just kidding. I don't go trick-or-treating anymore. And no one ever comes to my house. Maybe it's that big skull and crossbones sign I have out front. Could have something to do with that. Thank you for popping by. Hit the follow button, subscribe, join us on our locals channel. That's the red button on Rumble down there and on X. You'll find it in the show notes. Be sure and hit up some of our sponsors, Blackout Coffee, Patriot Mobile, all good companies, American companies that believe in our Christian, bright, conservative values. Help support this show and help support those companies. I am out of here. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Friday, and you enjoy your weekend too. Spend it with someone you love. I'll see you again right back here on Monday morning.